The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, I wanted to do this video, and let me make this very clear. This will be my last video on this subject. I will not talk about this subject any further in any video because it quite frankly doesn't deserve any more of my attention than it's already gotten. But I'm doing this video as a follow-up to one of my most recent videos where I was having a little bit of fun. I mentioned that Logan Paul had won more rounds against Floyd Mayweather than Canelo Alvarez did, which is true, he did. But I don't think that video really captured or depicted how I truly felt and what I thought about the fight. So that's why I'm doing this video. Now, Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather, what can we say? It was a circus. I mean, it was nothing short of a farce. It was nothing short of a circus. And we all know that. We all knew that going in. We all know that. And the fight played out. The fight or the exhibition was just that. It was an exhibition. It was a legalized bank robbery, as Floyd Mayweather put it himself. But I think for us to just look at this as a spectacle, or for us to just look at this as some sort of legalized bank robbery, I think we'd be missing the point of the real story of the fight. And this part of the fight or the exhibition that I didn't want to talk about because it truly saddened me as somebody who really loves the sport of boxing, who has an intimate understanding and an intimate love for what goes on in that boxing ring and for the fighters. It truly saddened me to see Floyd Mayweather be reduced to this. We're talking about Floyd Mayweather, one of the greatest fighters of all time. We're talking about one of the all-time greats, not just of this generation, but throughout the whole history of boxing. It hurt me to see him in there in an exhibition being reduced to a guy that's just, at this point, a circus show. It's a circus show. And I don't want to get too deep for you guys because I don't think it'd be good for YouTube, but I really think that these exhibitions are part of a deeper underlying meaning in our society, which I won't get into on video because that could get me in trouble. But I really think that these exhibitions and Floyd and Logan, it's really a microcosm of society. It's a microcosm of how dumbed down the society is. It's a microcosm of the level of quality that we demand in everything in life, like everything, not just boxing, not just sports and entertainment, but like the standard for so many things in this world has dropped exponentially a lot. It's dropped a lot. This is just a microcosm of all that, but like, I want y'all to really think, right? I know a lot of people are going to say Floyd carried Logan Paul. Bullshit. I don't think Floyd was carried in this fight. I don't think Floyd carried Logan Paul at all. And I'm going to tell you why. Number one, he didn't carry Logan Paul because Logan Paul was able to tie him up almost whenever he wanted. That's number one. Number two, he wasn't carrying Logan Paul because, and this is the part that's the most disheartening to me. When Floyd fought Canelo, right? I'm gonna use the Canelo fight not because I hate Canelo, but because it was a great performance and he fought damn near a perfect fight. When Floyd fought Canelo, it's very hard to find even one highlight where Canelo is landing a counter punch or two flush punches in a row. Yeah, I was saying that it's very hard to even go to the Canelo fight with a fighter as talented as Canelo and find one highlight where Floyd is getting hit with a counter punch or two flush punches in a row. But unfortunately, in this fight, there were moments where, or at least one moment, where Logan Paul was able to land a clear two punches in a row, counter punches on Floyd Mayweather, and that's disheartening. As a boxing fan, that's disgraceful. That's disheartening that Floyd Mayweather would lose a moment to Logan Paul. And I really feel like, and this is just my opinion, I really feel like these exhibitions for Floyd Mayweather are going to continue, if you look at how Floyd fought in the fight, Floyd Mayweather fought in a style that wasn't Floyd Mayweather-esque. He tried to walk Logan Paul down and walk in a straight line in a high guard, and he didn't even look good doing it. I mean, I don't know how anybody with a rational, sane mind can watch that circus show, watch Floyd Mayweather and the great fighter that he was, because I can't say he is anymore. He was a great fighter. Watching the great fighter that he was, and be okay with it. Be okay with that being part of his legacy. You know, that people aren't talking about that enough. Forget Logan Paul, forget the money, forget all the bullshit that surrounds the fight. The real story of the fight is the performance or lack thereof from one Floyd Mayweather. And I really truly believe that with the money that's being thrown at him, and with how just things are in the world, you know, I really feel like that this is the first step in the humiliation process of Floyd Mayweather, because of the fact that, you know, he's old. The drive ain't there. You can look in his eyes. You can look at his eyes when he's walking to the ring, and you can see that Floyd Mayweather does not have that same happiness, that same joy, that same anything. Irrespective of what he tells you, he's not the same guy he was in terms of. I'm not talking about his talent or his physical ability, because that's, you know, obviously that's obvious. I'm gonna state that, but I'm talking about mindset, and just how he feels in being in the boxing ring. I don't think Floyd Mayweather truly enjoys boxing anymore, and that's very alarming. And I really feel like at some point in time, whether it's against someone like a Jake Paul, and Jake Paul can actually fight a little bit, he can punch a little bit. So, you know, I think, like, it's crazy that I'm even gonna say this sentence, but like, if that Floyd Mayweather showed up against Jake Paul, I feel like Jake Paul might fuck around and hurt the guy. Seriously, I'm serious. And I know people are gonna laugh at me and say this, but I mean, let's not kid ourselves. We saw what we saw on Saturday night. We saw a guy that was at the pinnacle of this sport for as long as anybody in modern day boxing, and he looked like something we've never seen him look like before. You know, Floyd Mayweather has many things. He's confident, he's arrogant, he's extremely talented, he's God gifted. Sometimes he's philosophical, sometimes he's very humorous. But one thing he's never been in his boxing career is average, normal, pedestrian, run of the mill. And that's what he looked like when he fought Logan Paul. Average, normal, pedestrian, and run of the mill. Just, you're like an ordinary fighter. And that alone, especially against someone like Logan Paul, is saddening. And I know people can say it's an exhibition, but this exhibition is deeper than just an exhibition. It's a microcosm of this shit show we call modern day society, and the standards that are accepted in not just sports entertainment but the world at large. And also it's a microcosm of just you know, the desperation, because that's what this is at this point. You know, like maybe desperation is not the right word, but like Floyd Mayweather he will not be allowed to just retire. He will not be allowed to just retire and be himself. He's gonna have to go through some sort of humiliation process, because that's the cost of you know, I guess, selling your soul. But I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna speak no more on it. It's just it's really disheartening to see Floyd Mayweather. You know, it was disheartening to see Floyd Mayweather look how he looked on Saturday night, looking average. I don't care if it was an exhibition or not. I'm not buying the rhetoric that he carried Logan Paul. I'm not, because he looked hard. He couldn't cut the ring off. He couldn't stop this guy from tying him up, and he got caught flush. And that's not what Floyd Mayweather does. Like, Floyd Mayweather's fought some of the best fighters to ever grace the face of the earth. All right, some of the best fighters to ever grace the face of the earth, and he's never been caught flush like he did against Logan Paul in that one round. So I don't want to hear it. That's it for me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul. Make sure you take the time to subscribe, like I say in every single one of these videos. You can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just Kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.